It's episode 2 of This Week in Track, and on today's edition, we talk American records of the Houston Marathon and Half Marathon, an FBI investigation, and the beginning of the indoor season. Let's get to it. First, we start in Houston, where Keira D'Amato ran 2:19.12 to break the American record. Just a stunning performance and the culmination of an incredible rise of Keira D'Amato. Remember, she went from NCAA All-American, taking several years off the sport, and then climbing her way back in, and with each successive race getting closer and closer, now she's the American record holder. Just a sensational story for D'Amato. Works full-time as a realtor. She got some kudos here from previous record holder Dina Castor, and it's phenomenal when you look back at D'Amato's progression. So you go here, she's running from 02 to 08, that last season that she ran. She's got an 800 time there, a couple 1500s, then nothing, 2009, all the way until 2017 when she pops up, runs a 122 half, 247 marathon, and then slowly works her way back into where she is now. But the real turning point, where she went from, okay, she's coming back into form, to this could be somebody who's a factor on the international stage and the U.S. stage, came in 2020. Came in 2020, early on. Remember this race, she did this 5K time trial early on in the pandemic. When was this? June 14th. This was posted on a track, runs a 15:04 time trial, and that's when we knew she's going to be legit. D'Amato is going to be someone to look out for. Man, those early days of the pandemic, we all were so ambitious. We all had big goals, wrote them down, ordered a bunch of exercise equipment. Keira D'Amato, she's different. She stuck with the goals. She kept going, and now she has an American record. And we have to figure out how we're going to return all the Peloton equipment. Let's go now to the half marathon, where another American record was broken. Sarah Hall runs 1:07.15 to set the mark, finished second to Fiketi Chepnego, who ran an incredible 1:05.03. She had taken attempts before. She had gone off after an American record in the marathon as well, but she gets Molly Huddle's mark here. And a really cool stat, 15 years ago, her husband, Ryan Hall, set the American record in that same race. So now the Halls have the men's American record in the half marathon and the women's American record in the half marathon. The Halls plus Houston, just an unstoppable combination. They could probably fix the Houston Texans. They could probably fix even the Houston Rockets. Okay, maybe not the Houston Rockets, but everything else in Houston, I'd want the Halls in charge of it. Moving on now to this week's edition of Law & Order Track and Field. The Department of Justice charged an El Paso man named Eric Lira with distributing performance-enhancing drugs to 2 Olympians. Neither of them are named. However, it did not take Woodward and Bernstein to figure out who Athlete 1 was. On or about July 30th, 2021, Athlete 1 was provisionally suspended from Olympic competition, including the women's 100-meter semifinals, set to take place that same evening. That literally applies to one person, and that's Blessing Okabare. So if the goal was to keep a secret of who this was, they didn't do a very good job. I'm not sure how Department of Justice usually handles these things. Are they normally this, hey, we're not going to tell you who it is, but this is who it is? Because if they're going to do that, next time, just throw one of these up. You'd see a lot of green squares, is what I'm saying. They also released some text messages exchanges here. I want to zoom in on one here. On June 22nd, 2021, I just ran 10.63 in the 100 on Friday with the 2.7 wind. I am so happy, Eric. Whatever you did is working so well. Evidence there that athletes see the connection between performance-enhancing drugs and fast times. Also evidence that no matter what the situation is, track people are always going to bring up a wind reading. It's just inevitable at this point. And we close out with some news from the indoor season. Terrence Jones of Texas Tech tied the collegiate record in the 60 for running 6.45 seconds. A name to watch moving forward, certainly. But it's early indoor season, which means it's time for run a race that you're probably never going to run again this season time. Christian Coleman ran a 300, his first race since 2020, early 2020. Remember, missed the rest of that season, then 2021 with the suspension. comes out, runs a 300, posts a 33.20, a PB from 33.26. What does that mean? I have no idea, but we'll see him in Millrose and we'll be able to figure it out. Then a Thing Mo ran a mile, 437.99. Looked effortless doing it. I don't know how many times we're going to see a Thing Mo run a mile this year. This could probably be it. But she was lapping people, and she was ahead from the very first step, and no one matched. I've never seen someone run so fast while being so bored, probably. Look at these splits. 35, 34, 35, 36, 35, 35. Ooh, 33.9. Oh, 30.47. There we go. All right. A Thing Mo, 437.99 mile. Might need to simulate the rest of the meets until we get to a World Championship or a Diamond League.